I'm Tiffany,
And I'm Kelly.
and we're your revenue insiders getting ready for Dreamforce.
Yes, this is how we started the Revenue Insiders a year
I
ago.
know, I
And here we
know.
are today talking about Dreamforce 2025. Insiders will be there
Yes, we
in
will.
a couple of ways. We are hosting a thought leadership dinner with our partners, Udly. If you want a spot, make sure you reach out at podcast@therevenueinsiders.com. But Tiffany, the wonderful Tiffany, and my lovely co-host is speaking. Tiffany, what are you doing?
I will be speaking at 8:30 a.m. day one. Fresh content as soon as you hit Dreamforce. I'm in Moscone, and I am talking about revenue and the land and expand journey, and of course AI and agents and how they play into it. So you'll definitely need to come to that session. I'm also doing a live reaction to one of the keynotes. I think the live reactions are a really good way to absorb all the keynotes. I personally like prioritizing actual sessions over the keynotes when I'm there in person because the keynotes are so easy to follow back up on after the fact.
Absolutely. Very exciting.
Yeah. Kel, what are
Okay.
you going to be doing at Dreamforce? You're coming too. Uh,
Yes, I am
what's
coming.
your plan?
I don't have a ticket yet. If anyone has a ticket for me, I'd love to go. But no, I will be attending Dreamforce adjacent. So obviously, we'll be hosting our dinner and then on the street, talking to individuals, attending events, and finding out what people are talking about. And we will bring that all to you in a recap episode following Dreamforce.
I think that is equally as fun as being at Dreamforce. There is so
Is
much.
it?
I mean, Dreamforce is cool, but there's so much that happens like around the city. Like this, if you're not from San Francisco, I mean, we aren't either, but I've spent a lot of my like adult life in San Francisco. The city is different when Dreamforce is in town, and those adjacent events have just as much information and insights and conversations as being at Dreamforce as well. So I think it's a great way to like meet vendors, absorb information, some more like intimate opportunities too, for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So you are going to Dreamforce, Tiffany. You are prepping. You are looking at the agenda. It was recently released. I'm overwhelmed by it and I'm not even going. So tell me, how are you preparing and what are your tips and tricks for anyone who is going to Dreamforce this year? What sessions should they be attending and how should they be thinking about it?
Okay, obviously you should attend my session so you can filter by speaker.
Really?
No, besides that, it is overwhelming. There are so many sessions. And if you just click like recommended for you in the agenda builder, you still get like a million things to go do on any given day. I have aligned, really talking to my team about our strategy for next year. There are three specific areas that I am looking for. And then I'm kind of like weeding out the sessions based on those areas. So the first one is anything with Slack, specifically agents in Slack. I think we've talked about this in prior episodes. One of my like strategies for my day job, not the revenue insiders, is really making Slack our mobile interface for how our teams utilize their Salesforce experience. So I really want to understand Slack as much as possible and how they're developing it and how it's going to work with agents and other tools in the Salesforce toolset. Priority number one for me. Priority number two is agent space or agent force, the agent space overall that they're going to be talking about and how agents work together. There was a session on multiple agents that I saved. Really interested to hear how they're thinking about threading multiple agents together. There is a revenue cloud agentic keynote that I will listen to at some point. Probably won't stand in the long line to get in the door on the first come first serve basis, but I'm excited to like go back and listen to that one. And then the third one is data. We're creating so much data with agents. I really want to understand how others are thinking about utilizing the data, how safe and secure the data is, what tools they're using to analyze the data. On top of it, there's just so many things there. I'm really curious to see what other people are thinking. Peers and some of the like more intimate sessions, conversations. Those are my like three big areas, but I'm still building my agenda. I mean, it's September 23rd when we're recording right now. It's been out for less than a week and I am like heads down trying to figure it out.
Totally. I love your focus on Slack. I think just from a selling perspective and a seller's perspective, anything you can do to make your sellers have more time in the field and customer facing and less time doing data entry or trying to find information, the better. I am all for all of the Slack integrations and ways that we can just fold it into their workflow. So I'm excited to hear and learn what you learn about Slack. Again, multiple agents, also very interesting to me. And then, yes, overwhelmed with data. We're all overwhelmed.
I
Help
mean,
us out.
I won't get through all of those types of sessions by end of day Tuesday, but another plug for the dinner. We're going to be debriefing a lot of what we've seen at Dreamforce
Totally.
Tuesday night. So especially if you're just going to be adjacent to Dreamforce, it'll be a great opportunity to like get what other people are like seeing or learning throughout the day. I think that'll be a really valuable part of that. But speaking of our dinner, there's a whole strategy around what you do outside of Dreamforce. And Kel, I feel like this is where you are heads down right now, trying to figure it out. What is your, outside of attending a dinner with us and Udly, what are you focused on for all of those like networking events? How are you approaching scheduling out your day and your evenings?
Yeah. So a lot of these events, a lot of the other vendors, adjacent Salesforce vendors have lounges. And so these are a great opportunity to charge your phone. They typically have chargers, but no, in more serious ways, they're a great way to meet people and actually have one-on-one conversation. I feel like at Dreamforce, people are running to the trade show booths or they're running from session to session. When you get into these more relaxed lounge type settings during the day, you're going to find people that are practitioners like yourself where you can have real honest conversation. It's also a great way to scope new vendors. If you're thinking about, I think Clay is doing one of these. I think Sixth Sense is doing one of these. You think about these vendors and you're like, I want to know more. And before I purchase, I want to talk to a customer unfiltered,
Yeah. Not
not
that
through a
someone,
formal reference.
yeah, I don't want it passed to me.
Yeah, not a formal reference process. I want to do this unofficially. Go to those events, sit around, speak to people. You're going to get the unfiltered information. You're also just going to learn best practices. What should I have known before I implemented this? So if there's anything that's on your list right now of like, hey, these are vendors I'm looking at in the next year, or these are vendors I'm hearing about, figure out what they're doing at Dreamforce. I have noticed it's late this year. People are not posting their events and are
I
just
know.
getting to it.
Yeah.
I was spent like a month ago, I was out there and I was like, who's all going to Dreamforce? What are they doing? What events? Nothing was out there. Everyone still had their 24 strategy on their website. So if you are just going in adjacent like myself, start looking now because I've noticed web states are starting to come up and there's events and things that you can attend. So I will be prioritizing that. Means the big events are fun, but they're really hard to have good conversation. As somewhat introvert, I don't know what I am. I'm somewhere in the middle. I think it's easier to be at those smaller, intimate events where I can really have genuine conversation versus the big events. Just my personal opinion, but I get more out of those.
Yeah. I mean, I'm probably going to go to the Benson Boone concert if I can make it
As you
happen.
should.
But I mean, you know me, Kelly. I'm full extrovert. Like, not. I don't think there's an introverted bone in my body.
No,
And I also prefer the small events because I actually get to talk to people. Like, while I think it's really fun to be in big crowds, my goal the week of Dreamforce is to nail down a handful of things that I'm building for my strategy, like whether it's tools or best practices, business process. And I can't do that in those loud events. Like, you go because they're fun, because the drinks are cool and there's a band playing or something otherwise exciting. You don't get any of the like the relaxed business or like the informal customer references. Like, you can't grab those conversations there.
no, you absolutely can't. So, question for you: you're a leader in the RevOps space. So, are you sending your whole team, or is it just you going, or what is the best practice here? Because it's everyone's struggling with budget always, and so that decision's hard. I'm just curious how you think through it. I have some ideas, but I'm curious
Yeah.
where you're at.
Dreamforce is expensive. And even if you're running adjacent, hotels are non existent. Like, you are staying, even if you booked 2 months ago, like you were staying at the airport at this point for like $3,000 a night or something absurd. It's is not easily accessible to non Salesforce native individuals, or sorry, non San Francisco native individuals. If you're in San Francisco, great. You should pop in and make the time. You should have your team do that for anyone that's San Francisco native to like get to some of those side events if a ticket is out of reach. For our strategy, it's just me going this year. That's what we did last year as well. And so I worked with my leadership team last week to form our go to market ops strategy for next year. And I'm taking the bones of that as what's guiding what I'm going to prioritize. And then I will send my team afterwards, after like hey, I had a great conversation with Clay. Go run at that and like dive into that for next detail. So I'm using it as a strategic map to bring back to my team, keeping them involved in what we're developing in that strategy. But then I'm the only one actually going. And it is it's a cost and accessibility. It's just really hard to get that many people in San Francisco.
Totally. I agree with that approach. I think the other way I look at it is if you can send two people, the other person you send is not a senior leader. You actually send someone that's more kind of in that middle management or a more senior individual contributor. Because what I find is the things that we're looking for in the sessions we're attending at our level are very different than
Yes.
what you would attend if you're more operational
Yeah.
and an executor. And so being able to bring back both sides of the conversation to the team is really exciting and important. Obviously, that assumes you get two headcount that you can afford to send to Dreamforce. But if you can, that's always my recommendation. Don't just send the second most senior person on your team to Dreamforce. Think about who can go represent the best cross of your team.
I think that's great. And I think if I wasn't invited to speak at Dreamforce, I might have made a different decision. But, when I'm
Totally.
going already to speak, then it kind of like that seals the deal on how we're approaching it from my side of the house. But yeah, I think that's a really good tip. And especially if you are toying with like, do I send someone that's like a not far for them to travel and they can go for just the day or something, like that's a great way to think about sending more of a practitioner or someone that's really in the weeds and what's happening in your business for them to kind of get the visibility up and down the stack of what those sessions are saying. There's a lot of like workshop type sessions where you like are hands-on building agents or doing something that are super valuable too that I'm not going to prioritize. Frankly, it's not my day-to-day. There's no value for my team and me being in a workshop. They'd probably be annoyed with me, to be honest.
Absolutely. Yes, they probably would. They don't want you to not know
They
too
don't want
much.
me editing Salesforce.
You're dangerous then. Okay, so there's definitely someone listening right now that really wants to go to Dreamforce and they're struggling to build the business case. I wish that was me, but I'm my own boss, so that's my own battle to fight. But if you're not me and you have a boss that you are trying to convince or RevOps leader, CFO, that they should be sending someone to Dreamforce, how do you recommend they do that? What's the business case?
Yeah, I think one of the clearest ways to do it is to align on what your strategy is. Kel, are you there? Oh, okay. Yeah. My whole Riverside just shut down and popped back up.
Okay, well, I marked
Um,
it. So
okay. You asked the question cleanly, and then it was when I went to answer that it like all.
yeah, so just start over on like how you build a business case.
Yeah. Building a business case is a really great question for how you prove your ROI at Salesforce. And I think one of the key ways that you do that is anchor to your long term strategy of either your revenue team or your own operations organization. So think about if you are contemplating next year investing in conversation intelligence in Salesforce and you're looking at like all the ROI stats and the savings you're going to get and all the things that come with that, blend in the cost of attending Dreamforce so that you can talk to real customers who have implemented it, go to the right sessions, understand how it's going to work across the board from enablement impacts down to productivity of sellers. Build that into your business case for the larger strategy you're doing and couple it with that. And then it becomes something tangible. You're not just going for like a fluffy learning networking exercise. You're going to do investigation on something you're already building a business case on. I think that's one of the strongest ways that you can really set yourself up for like a clear ROI is attaching it to a bigger project.
Totally. You think about the cost of the buying process of any vendor or decision process. And if you can knock that out and have reference calls 5 in 2 days, you're way better off. And so think about your hourly rate and what you would do remotely and what you can actually do in person and how that adds value and has
And
ROI.
make sure you're evaluating all of the vendors in that space.
Totally.
So you're not like, you don't have blinders on. You're not being sold like by the one salesperson who just happens to be really good. Like you're doing that full evaluation. I think that that is also, when you talk to your procurement team, like that's what they want. They want that like RFP type experience, even when you aren't at a stage to fully do that. And a place like Dreamforce with all the vendors in one spot really enables you to have that conversation.
Absolutely. Okay, so you're going to Dreamforce. You're preparing. We've talked about the agenda. We've talked about how you plan your evening. What are you packing?
Gosh, Kelly, we go through this every year, and I never listen to our own advice. You and I have had this conversation long before we had a podcast on like our strategy for these things. Wear the tennis shoes. Don't be me and wear the heels because I'm gonna do it.
Don't wear the heels.
I know, but it's me, and I'm gonna do it because I'm short in real life, and
Platform tennis shoes, Tiffany.
I'm not bought into the platform tennis shoes. That's not my vibe. You should wear this. It is so much walking, especially if you haven't been before. So pack the tennis shoes in your bag if you need to. Travel light-ish. Like if you have something remarkable, for those of you that are watching on video, I just showed it on the screen. It's a great tool instead of your laptop to lug around all day. Like, try to be light if you can. And then I think that layers are also important. It gets muggy, it gets cold. It's San Francisco. You never know the weather. You have to assume some level of layers. And if you can do those layers like business casual, like I will at least one day do a jeans, tennis shoes, t-shirt, blazer look.
Yes.
I think it's a San Francisco staple, and it's easy to move around in, easy to change layers. And if you can repeat shoes, you probably save yourself from checking a bag.
Yeah, totally. Two things I'd add is my trick is I always have to travel with a backpack because I've got so much stuff and I'm also trying to not check a bag.
Yes.
But I also bring another flat bag that I carry as my actual like in-town bag so that I don't have to haul my giant backpack around. You see people with these massive backpacks walking around Dreamforce. And you're like, that can't be fun. And when you're at dinner, it's not something you can just like slide in the corner. So think about if you can get like a flatter bag that you can put in your suitcase and then take out and change for actual at Dreamforce.
Yeah.
Highly recommend. My other recommendation is if you are comfortable wearing color, wear color. And this is because people are going to try to find you and you're going to be texting with them. And when you're like, I'm in the black blazer, they're going to be like, cool.
Yeah.
So we're 95% of the people here.
Yes.
So when you're in the bright pink blazer or the bright blue blazer, like I like to do, it's just easier to find you. So if you have one distinguishing thing that makes it easier to find you, you will save time, especially when you're like at that Starbucks that's like somehow squeezes 500 people that should only fit 100.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be inaccessible. Like it doesn't have to be a fancy blazer. It can be an Amazon basics. Like you and I both have those versions of our blazers.
Yeah, totally.
We both use Rent the Runway. Like a rental service is a great option to like not overstuff your closet and get some pieces you otherwise wouldn't be comfortable in wearing or not part of your daily uniform. I'm definitely going to be doing that. I'll be renting some brighter blazers and I'll just have to like bully myself into not wearing the heels, except for when I'm on stage.
Yes, yes. And from a networking perspective, the other thing you can do is if you have a group or topic you're really passionate about, so say it's Alzheimer's and you're wearing a purple blazer or a purple shirt, people are going to ask, love your purple shirt. Thanks. I'm representing this. It suddenly brings a personal conversation into a business setting. You gain trust this way. And it just allows things to be more casual than what do you do? What do you do? Are you trying to sell to me? Should I walk away? So things like that.
Yeah.
Help
I
too.
do think like along that vein, like this is networking is hard. Like it is not something that it's funny. We've talked about this before in our infamous like episode that we recorded that no one knows about because the audio got trashed and we can never release it. But as extrovert as I am not good at networking. Like it is not, I think because it's not something I have to actively think about, I just talk to people and I forget about the networking side of like building the relationship or like committing the name to memory sometimes. Like I fail on some of those skills, but I think it's important when you're doing this, like it is a networking event all day long. That's exhausting if you're not an extrovert, but like reach out, say hi to people. Everyone's there to like connect and say hi. No one's going to like dismiss you or not talk to you. If they do, they're not worth your time. I definitely think like coming out of your shell and like making sure you treat it as a networking event is something everyone has to do when they're at the event.
And you never know. You might end up hiring that person you talk to. They might end up hiring you. You might be working with them. I do try to be really, it's funny that you struggle with networking and you're an extrovert and I'm an introvert and I love networking.
I know
Go
you do.
figure. I don't know how this works.
I think
We're
it's because it
weird.
has like a framework to networking that you can like follow and adhere to. And like
Yes.
I'm so extroverted that like I don't need the framework, so I just forget it exists.
Yeah. So part of my framework is I spend the day after I get home from Dreamforce just writing a quick message to everyone on LinkedIn that I met. And I'm not trying to sell them anything because I'm not, but it's just like a great to meet you. Hope we stay connected. And then maybe you'll need them down the road. Maybe you talked about something that you do want some information from them on, but it's just an intentional way to like build your network because as we're going to learn in this world of AI, networks are so important.
Exactly. Yeah. It's going to be a good week. I'm excited for it.
I am too. I'm looking forward to it. I'm still hoping someone will give me a ticket,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Dreamforce, if you're listening, Salesforce, I'll take one. That's
Yeah.
okay.
Well, we'll share all the deets with each other. I'm super
Yes,
excited. The dinner is going to be fantastic. I'm really looking forward to our dinner with Yudli on Tuesday, the 14th. So the whole week is just going to be so much fun.
it is. Okay. Well, I think that's it. We've talked about it all.
Ready to
Anything we
go?
missed?
I don't think so. I think we're ready. I hope everyone else is ready too.
Yeah, we will see you there. If you are headed there and want to connect, make sure you reach out to us. You've got us on LinkedIn. Email us at podcast@therevenueinsiders.com and we will find a way to connect.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm excited.
See you at Dreamforce.
Thanks.